Generic greetings and welcome back to Prison Architect. In the previous episode, we had a planning problem and it's all to do with space, really. So as you can see on the left here, we've got chapel, classroom, shop, etc. all planned off. And on the right, we've got a common room built as well as some plans for parole and infirmary and things like that. But we're still missing out on the cleaning cupboard, and basically, even though about half this prison here, or yeah, this facility here is really earmarked for stuff that isn't about holding prisoners, which is a bit strange considering it's a prison. We're still lacking some room, but what we're going to do is we're going to probably go over to our objects tab and then dismantle, and we're going to dismantle all of these bits here, because what I want to do is I want to put in a cleaning cupboard, but I think the best thing to do is to place it up the top here near parole. So that means replanning some of this. So let's go over to do that, and let's remove some walls here. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3 internal there. Then parole of an internal of 5, because you do need a minimum of 5 by something, which is, you can see there's a 5 by 8, but not that it matters. And then we have the infirmary and the office and things to do in there as well, because having the cleaning cupboard up here is a bit better, because it just means that we can well, you're best off having the laundry closest to the prisoners, and the cleaning cupboard it's centralised, basically. That's probably the best way of having it. So anyway, this is going to be our infirmary, so we need to have our 4x4 for the office, so we'll do that. And then the morgue will go on the right-hand side there, although I think we did make it a 5x4 just because we can have that centralised, and if you have a door there and a door there, it means you can have the beds there and something like that. That's okay. I think that's fine. Okay. So we'll remove that. We'll go over to rooms, and obviously we need to redesignate a lot of this. So we'll have the infirmary first. So infirmary, we will remove all of this, including the bit of the common room down the bottom there, and then we'll plug the infirmary in there. We will have a cleaning cupboard, which will go in the top and bring loads of chemicals into the prison. We will have a morgue, and we'll place that in there. Obviously, this needs to be an office, but I'm not going to place that just yet. We need a parole, like so, and that should be about it. So let's just place the rest of the brick wall in here. So we'll move up and across and just do the rest of this one, and it means that we can probably go ahead and really start to think about finishing off the majority of the rooms in here, just so we can start getting prisoners probably next episode, actually. So let's just go for the mail room. Anything that's 5 by something, we'll just have the entrance in the centre for the shop. It actually doesn't really matter. I think probably that'll be fine. Remember, we have to have a shop window as well, so actually probably there is best to have the door. Classroom, once again, it's going to be bit difficult actually, because we're going to have two rows. Probably that is the best way forward, and then have row of desks at the back there, something like that anyway. So we have 3 grants on the go. We have security procedure certification, which we've done the majority of it. We just need to hire more guards and assign them to patrol routes, so that'll be done very, very quickly, especially once we get the stuff for prisoners. We also need to get the cell block B up and running, which is increase our capacity to 50, so we'll have to sort that out. I just need to also probably run some pipe work in here, and I think I'll do that now. I don't think there's any real problem in doing that, because we know where stuff's going to be, because it's just going to be cloned from the left there, and at least that's now got some water, which is always an advantage. So let's crack on from the bottom left up. So chapel, let's go over to objects and to the altar. Now, do I want to put the altar in this corner and then put the rows and rows of pews in like so? I think I do. So let's go for an altar over here. I think that's the right direction. And then pews will have a little bit of space, and then we'll go all the way to there, and then you've obviously got a walkway around, and we'll put some prayer mats in as well, like that. I think that's about right. In terms of classroom, it's going to be a bit different, although, do I want to put them there and up there? We could have almost 3 rows. Excuse me. Do we want to do something like that? Or do we just want to have a row there, and then a row there? Let's go for 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. Yeah, row there, row there, row there, and then obviously you've got a walkway all the way along there. That should be acceptable. And then we also need to have an office desk in here, which we'll rotate around and just put there. And then that's it. Actually, no, we'll just put the office desk right at the front there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 15 school desks in total. We could put that up there and put some more school desks in like that. Okay, that's fine. It's a bit cramped, but we'll be okay. So shop front, we'll need to go in. Make sure we put the actually, it doesn't really matter. See that the shop front is like the wrong way there. I don't actually think it matters, although I must confess I've never tried. So we need tables and shop shelves. So the shop shelves will go probably along here, like so, and then the table can go right at the back there, and that fits in quite nicely. In the library, it is a library shelf and sorting desk. So library shelf will go... do I want to go like that across there, or do we want to have them like that? I think that's better. And then a sorting desk will go... you know what, I'm going to remove those. 2 sorting desks at the top there, and then the library shelf at the bottom, just because they're better to look at that direction like that. Mailroom, again, fairly simple. You need a table and sorting table. So we can have, say, the tables there, and then the sorting desks can go up there, and that's fine. And then the laundry. I'm just going to go down and check. Our power is perfectly acceptable, so that's fine. And we're going to put some laundry bits in. Actually, do I want to put them at the back there? I don't know. Let's put 3 of them in the back there. That'll be fine. And then obviously our oh, can I put them next to them like that? I think I can. I'm going to put them like that, actually. Actually, no, I'm not, because the table will go in there. Okay, and then perhaps there and there. I don't know if you can have them right next to the wall. I'm not too sure. I guess we'll find out. Actually, no, let's just not chance it. We'll put them like that. And that should be fine. And then, as always, laundry baskets, you just place anywhere. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all, because they just go anywhere. And then we'll put some doors on, because that's generally a decent thing to do. Now, in the infirmary, always have a bit of an issue with the infirmary, because do you put standard doors on, or do you put staff doors on? Now, I like the idea of having a jail door, but then again, I don't think it much matters. The problem is that they'll only go in there to steal things or be healed. That's the only 2 reasons. And because we're not having it as access only, they can always go in there. There's no reason not to. So I guess just standard doors, and all we'll do is we'll set that to access only. Speaking of deployment and such, we do need to set a lot of this to staff only, like so, outside there. And that is fine. That's interesting, that it's actually not classing that as that separately. Why is it not classing that separately? I'm checking, and it's got all of the doors on it, so there's a gap. Ah, this is the gap here. Of course this is the gap. Of course this is the gap. So we need to have a wall go along. The reason for it being a wall is because this is going to eventually be a building, and there's no point in putting fence there, because we'll end up having to redo it anyway. $6,000 in the kitty. We also need to build 1 more school desk, so I'm just going to put another one in there just to get that. It says build 20 school desks, and there's no way we're going to be able to fit them all in, so I'll just place another one in there just for grant purposes, and then I'm going to cancel both of those, and then we can always reuse those anywhere when we do the left or the right prison anyway. So you can see there's loads of stuff being brought in. We've got loads of books there, we've got loads of stuff here for the shop, we've got some stuff over there for the cleaning cupboard, and we need to power this thing up as well. So we'll just run an electrical cable like so, and then a pipe will go into there. We will go ahead and put some grass in the yard, and we'll also put in the yard, I think, some weights benches. The question is, do I want to stagger them, or do I want to have them right next to each other? And I think just basically stacking them up is probably the way forward. We'll have them as 3. Looks like you can only, you can't rotate them around. We'll just put them in like so, and I will have to redo that pipe because I right-clicked and cancelled it. There we go. So that's all fine. We just need to set up really a couple of patrols now and hire some more guards. Now, that's going to be a bit of a problem because we are lacking in funds, but we can take out a loan, so we'll probably do that. Let's go over and not get any people yet. We do need to start assigning some rooms down here, so we want to get a armory right at the back, like so. And then we'll assign the one in front of it to be a kennel. Obviously, these are not complete, but that's not too much of a problem. In terms of staff only, that should be staff only. We want not security to be staff only. The kitchen is staff only. That is fine. Everything else is as is. Actually, no, we need the morgue as staff only. And we want access only to be the infirmary and also the office there as well. Same as security, we don't want people in there unless they specifically require access. So I think that is, people will try to avoid access only zones if possible, preferring to take routes around your prison. So yeah, they'll access only, even access only, they're still going to wander in there. It matters not. But I think we'll keep security as access only. The rest is all fine, and we can now make that staff only as well. Alright, that's okay, I think. That's alright. So, we need to get 10 guards and assign 3 guards to patrol routes. Well, we can assign some patrol routes now, so let's go over to our deployment and guard patrols, and we need to set a patrol that just goes around in the canteen here. Now, obviously I'll assign some dogs to this as well, but we'll get to that later on. Once we actually have some, we will have a patrol route that goes around here, and I can hardly see the wall. I think that's the wall. It is the wall because we can't place a patrol route on the other one as well. So we're going to have 3 patrol routes. These are probably going to be standard guards, and then we'll assign some dogs to patrol the outside. We'll have one walking probably back and forward here. If they tunnel all the way to the left, then good luck to them, basically. We don't. Well, ideally we do want one in the shower, because that means we can keep an eye on prisoners, because they always kick off. They always kick off in the shower generally, because if it's been a bit of a rough night, yeah. Although it still does feel a bit iffy to have a guard patrolling in there. But anyway, we haven't got any CCTV. We do want to assign someone to parole, but we'll do that later on. I think it's now just getting some more guards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that is a grant completion, and means we can go over 2 grants and get governmental security ratings and prisoner acclimatization and engagement. I'm going to get prisoner acclimatization and engagement because it's very easy to do. Prison labour, 1, 2, 3, and then all I'm going to do is just max out the jobs for all of these rooms. Now, obviously, some of them, like the library, we won't be able to have people in there necessarily because they need to be edumacated in the classroom. So yeah, that grant's now done. We did assign everybody to all of the jobs, so we've got that nice little bonus there. It's probably the easiest one to do. Obviously you have to get to the point where you've got the rooms, but it's quite easy to do. We're going to go over to governmental security ratings, and now we're up to 45 grand, and this is before we've got any prisons. We've got no prisons whatsoever, yet we've still got a nice amount of money. Let's go over to visitor table, and we're going to get the parole chair and table and benches and other things put in. Medical beds will be placed like so, all the way down the back. I'm not going to place, oh yes I am going to place, go on, we'll place them in there as well. And then the morgue slabs, which will go all the way down that side, and then we'll build this office here as well. So we'll have a chair there, we'll have a chair there, we'll have a from memory, actually no, we'll place it side on, it'll look probably a bit better. Probably there and then there. We want a... This is why you should assign it to office first. Office. There we go. And now it highlights what we need, which is a desk, which can be in there. And then we'll have a filing cabinet up top, like so. And that should be a legitimate office. We do have a couple of offices down here. These are empty ones. We need an accountant at some point. Sorry, a lawyer at some point. You can see we have unlocked them, but we haven't unlocked other things. We've got tasers, body armor, guard towers. We don't need guard towers just yet. We don't need micromanagement, nor do we need land expansion or tax relief. No, I don't think we need that. It's only for manufacturing. Tasers would be good. We will do a taser rollout with body armor as well. There's no negative effects from getting those. It's only when you've got some other stuff that you might have a negative. Oh, let's actually place some green grass in the centre there. Alright. And what are we missing? Well, we haven't got solitary. That is quite an easy one to build, actually, so let's do just that. And we'll go along, and this will be our solitary cells. I normally forego putting toilets in or anything like that, so I don't know whether to follow the same sort of idea or or not. We'll see, we'll see. But we'll build those there as well. And we also want a couple more metal detectors. Now, the metal detectors will go along here. But I think what I want to do is place 2 metal detectors either side like so. Just so they have to go through them. Coming from the main cell holding area into here. Which they have to do for the canteen and such. They have to go through metal detectors. I could do the same again in the canteen. But what's the point? They're always going to go through those ones. So we'll see, we'll see. Then I want to put a large jail door on either side. Now, those will be locked open by default, but I just want to place them in because it means that if it's booting off in here, we can lock that down and make sure that this room never, well, I say never, is able to break through, but that's not the case. Let's lock those open. And, yeah, metal detectors around here could be placed, and we might place them, but it means 8 metal detectors, that's 8 grand, and also the power requirement, which we're nowhere near capacity, but it still would be not great. Let's go over to brick wall, and I want to place a brick wall probably there and there, because I just think it would be best to make sure we have a staff door between these. It just is always better to move that off. We'll probably have to, yeah, redesignate that staff only because of game. And that's about right, I think. Okay, so that's open, that's been cleaned off. We don't have any lights in the yard, and I do prefer to have it lit up just a little bit, like so. And there we are. Right, so we've got patrols around here, we've got patrols around there. We do need some dog handlers, and we need some... we don't need armed patrols. I don't think we're going to go with armed for this area yet, but we'll see. But let's get up the... I'll get the kennel up and running, I think, is probably the best thing to do right about now. So we'll have a row there, and we could put another couple in along there, but we'll see how we get on. So that's all that done. We probably are going to build the armory just because we get that grant done when we hire a couple of people. Even if they're just going to sit around here for now, it doesn't really matter. So let's go over to objects, and why is it suggesting a serving table? A guard locker can go on the back there, so we'll place the guard lockers like so. We want a weapons rack, which will go up the top there, and then a table, which can go down the bottom. Actually, I'll put the tables either side because it looks quite good, and then we'll have the weapons rack there because you can't rotate those round. And that should now allow us to buy all of the things we need. 3 armed guards, we go 1 and then 2, and then also for our dog handlers, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. You can see, oh, I was wondering why all the guards are swarming, and that's because body armor has now been bought, so they are swarming towards it, and put that on, and you can see a lot of the money being spent there. So we'll go over to deployment and to dog patrols. We want to set a dog patrol in the canteen. We also want to set a dog patrol probably along here, like so. Just back and forwards there, that should be fine. And I would like to have one all the way around, but if I connect those up, that could cause an issue. So perhaps just a dog patrol around the centre, like that. Maybe that's a good idea, like that. And, oh, armed patrols as well, so, there you go, Grant. Grant done. So, we've got max sec infrastructure. We'll get that because most of it's done anyway, and it gives us a nice little boost. And we need to build CCTV monitors and place cameras, but I think the main thing we need to do now is build this, which is going to be our protective custody area. Now, it's... I'd like to wait and get that built before we get prisoners in, but I don't think we're going to. I think it's about time we get some prisoners, and I'm just placing some flooring here because, well, we haven't got any. It's always some advantage. Yes, by the way, I know there's no tiles whatsoever around any of this area, any of these areas, but we will be placing that in the next couple of episodes probably, because we want to get this pretty much built over the next 2 or 3, 4 episodes, or however long it is. This should be that building completerated. It is now done. So there we go. We'll put all the internal walls in. Obviously, we need to design the cells. Them cells... Oh, look at that. The auto light has placed the lights above every wall. Every single wall. So all these lights that they're placing are going to get removed, and we'll have to light that. We'll have to light that up for our own accord. Okay, fair enough. In terms of our intake, you can see that there are 100 prisoners of each category ready to go. So I think we say fill capacity MedSec, and that's something we want to do. We want to go over to our deployment, MedSec only, and all of this is assigned to medium sec only, or staff only, because that's what this one is about. And there we are. That is the last stage, really, of getting this thing. I wouldn't call it habitable. Well, I would call it habitable, but it's further beyond that. It's past the minimum by a big margin. We've got libraries, we've got shops, which apparently is more of a storeroom. It's because we need people to work there and they need to load into there. But yeah, we've got chapels and classrooms and common room and all sorts of stuff. So it's all right. It's doing all right. We do need to put a light in this office though, because it looks a bit dark. There we go. So, okay, so we're going to leave it there. Very happy with the progress that's been achieved there, and good grief, that's just insane. I'm going to remove the some of the planning here because it's just unnecessary. There we are. So yes, next episode we will go ahead and get some prisoners, specifically 16 prisoners, which will arrive in 5 hours in game time. As always, hope you have enjoyed the episode. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.